Hello, Internet.
Hello to
Uh,
all.
Hello to all. This is Rolls Revamped. We're here with our very first super exciting video, which is going to be a review for a D&D third D&D D&D third edition. Wow, going right back.
We dug it out of the
D
closet.
Yeah, dust off that third edition. Haven't touched it since 3.5 came out, but we are going to be doing a review of a fifth edition third-party supplement book that just came out last week here, called Beyond the Golden Vault, which is by Anthony Anderson, with collaboration with Jackson Wagner, Bryan Cetroni, Danny Kodicek, Caspian Cavieri, Anastasia Murray, Ben Sutton, Gethin Pearce, and Akator 006.
Thank you, Akator.
Thank you so much, Akator. You can find it on DMsGuild, and even more exciting is it's on sale for 30% off until March 14th for the GM's Day sale.
Mm-hmm.
So better pick it up now, because you don't want to miss it.
Mm-hmm. It's very good.
Yeah. If I'm looking off to the side here, it's because I've got two screens and I've got the the information pulled up and then the other
That's
stuff.
the
Yeah, but yeah, we were just going to do a casual review here, just in the interest of full disclosure. We were given a copy of the book, we were given a copy of the book for the purposes of doing this review, but for providing, like a genuine reaction to the work. And so we're very excited to do that. These are also, just a heads up, the same folks who did the Baba Lysaga's Nocturnes and Nightmares supplement book, that came out a while back. Which is also on sale on DMsGuild. So we'll have the links to both of those in the doodly-doo.
The doodly-doo description.
Yeah, in the doodly-doo. Yeah, but so yeah, we were just going to go back and forth, do a little review, like a conversation as we go through it. Yeah, did we have anything else to say up top? Excuse me.
No, I don't think so. We can get right into it.
Yes.
I think that one of the first things that I noticed when going through the supplement is the setting is very enriched, I guess. It's really cool how they describe your motivations throughout it, and the comparison of like a heist, which is what you're going to be doing, versus a normal dungeon crawl. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about that. Some of you might be familiar with like the Golden Vault. Have you ever done like a Golden Vault adventure? I have not. So
I haven't, because that one is new.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, are you meaning from this book or from the keys from
like
the Golden Vault?
yeah, like the official source or anything like that? Have you ever done anything like that before?
No, that one is new too. I think just in the
Mm-hmm.
last 3 weeks or so.
Oh gosh.
But yeah, I feel like I heard about that one at the end of last year and was very excited for it. And then everything with the OGL happened, and I was like, I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna pick it up actually. So then I was even more excited when this third-party publisher one came out, because immediately I was like, I have to have it. I have to have it. I need it. My friends and I are crazy about heists. I need it.
Yeah, that's like kind of the main thing is that they talk a little bit about how when you're going through a heist, you're definitely thinking less about combat, and I guess you're still thinking about traps, but you're trying to solve things in a different way than you traditionally would in your average D&D game. So I think that it's really cool that it took the time at the beginning to kind of set that precedent and give you an idea for what you're going for. They have like the anatomy of a heist, all the different points that you want to think about to really make a good like whole story. And so it kind of gives you the tools. Like they have adventures for you here, but it also gives you the tools if you want to make it your own thing in your own world. So.
No, I really like that. I feel like this book, I like what you said about how it de-emphasizes combat and really tries to get you to explore these other really alternative ways to solve problems that are so iconic like from heist films and different tropes from that genre is really cool. I like the way that the way it lays out the heist is really cool to me because it really does just sort of systematically dissect the setting, where it really goes through like the rooms and the staff, and it gives you like motivations for the staff and like little hooks where you can tie in the party and like their how the heist is going, and little like things that you can get, bits of information you can give them are just kind of peppered throughout all the description of the heists. I also, one thing that I really loved about this book just right off the bat is it does that thing where they do like a little scrap where it's just an in-character note from one of the characters, one of the NPCs or sort of stock characters in the book. And I just love, that is one of my favorite things in TTRPGs, because it immediately, I feel like it just transports you directly into the adventure, into the setting. It's so good. And I feel like you get such a strong sense of all of the characters right off the bat because of it. It's absolutely incredible. I literally saw one where I don't remember. It was like later on in the book, but I saw one where like the thief character, or sorry, the muscle character is like going back and forth with another character, and she's like, "What do you mean we're not meant to fight our way out? What am I supposed to do? Knit a sweater?" Like immediately iconic, just flawless character building. It's so good. I think for me, sorry, I'm like
no, it's okay, go ahead.
I'm totally normal about D&D and also this book in particular. But yeah, I love that. I feel like for me, it makes it way easier to engage with a supplement book, or even like, you know, any kind of setting book. Is using the character to really get you engaged is such a good jumping off point. And this book just did that effortlessly, where I was reading it to start doing this review and then do, you know, a special little actual play with it afterwards. Spoilers, but I just like immediately was so riveted by the characters that I like couldn't stop pouring through it. And that's amazing. Like, I love that.
Yeah, I had a very similar reaction with going through the supplement. I was kind of hooked at the beginning with like the descriptions of how to execute a heist and everything, but then once you got to the characters, it really just pulled you right in. You got like a sense of the setting, you got a sense of the vibe that you're going for, like the mood that everyone's going to be in, the relationships that everyone has with each other because of these little scraps, and because of like, I mean, there's like 2 paragraphs and they still, like right away, I felt like I had a good sense of like how our party is going to work. And I really like that. I've actually never played with like pre-written characters before. I'm very protective of my characters usually, so I'm just like, no, God, why would I ever do that? But then, you know, the first guy, even like I read Sir Reginald and I was like, done, that's him, that's me right there.
Yeah, so that's the new Blorbo.
Yes.
He's my favorite.
He's job. My son. He's so good. He's wonderful. And then you got, so I think it was very smart putting him first too, because he's more of like the lead of the group, and so you get like his opinion on everyone, and then you get that kind of like leads into them and like how they came together as a group and everything. And I just, it was really well done. Yeah, whoever made the supplement, like knew their characters well, like definitely.
Yeah. And they've got these like, they're all these little so to go into the characters, you've got all these criminal backgrounds that the book lays out, which, first of all, these backgrounds would be so good for any rogue, I'm really excited just to have these backgrounds and to take them into literally any other D&D game. But they have these, you know, NPCs, or I mean, you know, just pre-generated characters called the Platinum Pix Gang. Yes. And they're so good. They're all kind of laid out as, you know, heist archetypes, where you have one who's the architect, who is like the planner, the mastermind rogue. You've got the brute, who is like your muscle. You've got the burglar, the con artist. the surveyor and the tinkerer, they're all so iconic. And immediately, like, there's this gorgeous character art inside. And they all feel like they have these beautiful characters that just jump right off the page immediately. And our group chat literally was fighting over which characters they would be for the actual play that we're doing. So it's very exciting.
Yeah, it was definitely, everyone sort of attached themselves to somebody right away, but it was very good. And yeah, I'm very excited to play through them. I think it's gonna be great.
I also love, like, the characters have a lot of diversity, just even like there's a lot of gender diversity. I think there's 2 characters that use he, him pronouns, 1 that uses she, her, and I think 2 that use they, them. And it's just, it's awesome.
It really was.
It's great. Yeah. And like, I know that, the canon Wizards of the Coast books are also making strides in that direction, but I don't think that they've done one where there were 2 non-binary characters right out of the gate. Like, I think you usually get 1, and that's kind of quota full. Like,
I was gonna say, and it almost felt like, because they had 2, maybe it's just me, but it felt more like less pointed at, I guess. Like, it wasn't mentioned in the story, just like nobody said like, oh, and they were a little kid and nobody could ever tell the difference or anything like that. It was just like they just wrote it into the text of the dialogue. This is them.
Yeah.
And it's not a big deal. So
yeah,
I really
absolutely.
Like that.
No, it just felt super genuine. And like, one of our friends was literally joking about how they wanted to play the burglar archetype who uses they, them pronouns. And they were like, literally me, a they, them who can't remember anything, playing a character who's a they, them who can't remember anything. Amazing.
The notes are going to be useless on this one.
No notes. Yeah, truly, I literally, I feel like this book would be worth it, even if it was just that first bit that has the backgrounds of the characters.
Yeah, that's all.
Because that for me is like immediately incredible.
And the anatomy of a heist stuff, like right at the beginning they put that, because that's really fun. It makes me feel like I could put a heist into my own game and actually have it be interesting.
Yeah, I feel like it's helpful too, because sometimes like the way that D&D modules are laid out sometimes is like a story, which reads very well and it's, narratively very nice. But I feel like for a heist, things can go off the rails so quickly. Yes. And the way that this book breaks it down is so modular. And it's right, like you've got the scheme, you've got the score, scouting, security, strategy. It's like it's broken down in such a systematic, logical sort of way that it really feels like you could just plug your own adventure in there and take off. Like it would be fine.
Yeah, exactly. You need a thing to get, and you need your characters. So you can
do it, you need the MacGuffin, and you need the crew. That's then you're done.
Yeah, and if you have your own game, you already got your crew. So
yeah, perfect. We love it. Yeah, I think should we move on and talk about the heists a little bit?
Yeah, we could talk a little bit about that. Because we are doing an actual play, and Remik is going to be our DM for this. I have not read the heist, but I kind of skimmed over one of them that we're not going to play. So, just so you know, if I'm asking a lot of questions, that's why. Yeah. Just to talk about the other 2 really briefly, no spoilers because we're going to be playing one. But I really like the 3 heists that they kind of have laid out. 2 of them feel like very classic heist trope concepts. So we've got like a casino heist and we've got a museum caper, which immediately, like, I just feel like those are such time-honored, like, just, I feel like the concept, as soon as you say that, like, that's it. Like, you kind of know what it's going to entail. But the way they have such incredible little details in it, like there's maps for all the locations. The casino is in a flying airship. Amazing. So there's a little detail that I saw where it literally, there's like a story hook where it talks about there's
a crew member who's described as being very thirsty. So you might catch him at the bar and might be able to like get sort of an edge on him in a conversation because he might have had a couple of cocktails. First time reading it, wasn't sure if thirsty was meant to convey drink or something else. I was like, what does it mean?
He's so thirsty.
He's so thirsty. No. But no, like there's just these incredible little details for all the rooms, for all the staff, and it's just perfect little things that you can pepper in to really flesh out the heist and make it feel like a whole expansive world setting. But yeah, the third one is really cool because it's the one that for me stands out as like not being quite so trope heavy, which isn't like a good or a bad thing. It's like, I mean, I love a heist trope, so obviously. But yeah, there's this archive of the mines, which is sort of like a memory and like intellect collector, which is very spooky and really interesting. I also, honestly, I was really interested in this one, but then I wanted to go for something that was more like trope heavy, just because it'll be super shenanigansy. But yeah, it's basically this collector who kind of goes throughout history collecting the memories and like
right, yes, the mind.
The mental imprints of people right before they die or people of like historical significance and importance. And it really like it feels also very cool, just like philosophically. It's very interesting to me.
I heard that premise, and I really want to run that one sometime as well.
Yeah, I would like to be a player. You can run it, and I'll be a player that time.
All right. So we'll be having two actual play episodes.
Spoilers: sequel coming soon.
Yeah, they've got some really unique settings and just things that when you hear what it is, just right off the bat, I want to go to that place. I want to go to there. I want to go to the casino on the airship and this crazy mind museum. And
it's called the Zephyr. The airship is called the Zephyr. Just chef's kiss. Incredible concept.
It's very good.
love that. I don't want to go to the Mind Collector, but I would love to, in my imagination, have that adventure.
All right, well, fine.
There's literally, I just love these little like the scraps of, conversation are so good. There's one where like in the Mind Collector adventure where your muscle character is like, this place scares me, and then someone else is like coming back and saying in return, I don't think you have much to worry about, like you're not their type, no one is going to steal your mind, like it's fine. They're looking for exceptional minds, like you're okay.
That's actually pretty funny because the one in the description is about like the brain of a great warrior who died in battle and like general, so but maybe he does want a fighter brain.
Probably was like strategic genius.
He could, they did call him the general, I think. So that's probably fair.
Yeah. So good.
But yeah, it really is the characters that hook you in right away and keep you going throughout the whole, like those little narratives and everything.
Yeah, 100%. And oh my god. Yeah, they've got all kinds of all of the little story hooks and plot hooks. Like there's all the random charts where you can roll, right, for how you're getting on board this airship casino. And I won't say too much more because there's, Again, I don't want to spoil things. But yeah, there's like literally all these tables where you can roll randomly. You can pick and choose. You can make your own. Like there's templates. Like this book is very light on combat, but like the Mind Collector heist in particular has some like templates for how you build out some of these antagonists and monsters, like husks and thralls that it's got all kinds of little stat blocks and things that you can base your own creation off of. Even like in terms of the player characters that it has, or if you want to use them as NPCs, it's got sort of different tiers where you have like tier 1 through 4. It's about like 5 levels each. So, right, tier 1 could be for levels 1 through 5, then you have 6 through 10, etc., etc. But yeah, they've got options for all kinds of different levels of play. So you don't have to jump in at level 1. You can like do something a little more exciting. But it still is accessible for anyone at whatever stage of play they want. So it's lovely.
It does just seem like super well thought through. Like anything that you probably would have thought of, or just like, well, what if I don't want to do this? They seem to have something for that. So you can drop it right into the game you have. You can do it as a one shot, as we're doing, or it seems like it's very versatile.
Yeah, absolutely. I love this book. I love this. No, I think it's amazing. And like after you have the heroes, you have the heists, then there's whole sections about like hazards and traps. There's a whole chapter on tools of the trade where you have even more cool items.
Really cool, yeah. They have so many special little items, and not all of them. I don't think all of them, but there is a section that has them in tiers as well. So like if you run into it, around level 1 versus level 15, what will this item have, or what will be its abilities? So that's also very cool. So you have this cool item, but then you can also change it, or even if you held on to it for long enough, you could have it like level with you, which is always really fun. I love that in video games. So having that mechanic in a TTRPG is really neat.
Yeah, totally. And the little signature items that they have for each character, for each background, are so cute. One of them is like Benoit's blueprints, like it's Benoit Blanc. They've got these little tie-ins to all kinds of different like heist and mystery narratives and stories. So cute, so good.
Yeah, just really creative, super, super creative.
Yeah, there's all of the notes for the DM stuff are so useful. There's like, oh my God, there's truly is so much. Like they have whole sections on scouting and layout, like tiers where you can sort of roll, but also calculate how complicated you want it to be based on like number of rooms, like the challenge, sort of difficulty rating, just all kinds of stuff. It would be so fun to just do a fully randomized adventure through this, because with all these tables you could really just go wild. Yeah,
I have an idea. When I'm allowed to read the heist parts of this book, I might use some of these tables in a different game.
Yeah, they're good. It would be good for if you had a podcast maybe that did some random totally randomized D&D game. Oh, that's weird. What a coincidence.
Yeah, that'd be really great. I would love to just roll an entire heist. What do you guys need? I don't even know yet.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, the timeliness of this just happened in such a fun way too, because I literally just finished like last week running our Brindlewood Bay adventure, which also talks about like the anatomy of a mystery and like really helps you build it out. And this for me has such similar energy, where it really goes into the anatomy of the heist and like the building blocks that you need and breaks it down in such a useful way. Yeah, that's really just my big impression, is that it's good. It's very good.
It's very, very good.
Yeah. And like, not to compare it too much to the Wizards of the Coast book that just came out, last month as well. He's from the Golden Vault, but like that book is just the heists. So it's got like, I don't know, it's got 12 or 13 different heist modules you can run for different levels, but it doesn't have the characters, and it doesn't have the backgrounds, and it doesn't have a cool item for every single background. Like, ooh. I don't know. I just feel like, I don't know. I mean, really, if I was to compare the two, like, for me, the backgrounds and the characters are insane value. Mm-hmm. Like, you can take that for literally any campaign you're running and make an absolutely phenomenal character. and just I think the versatility of this one is way better than just a book of heists. No offense, but that's my impression. So yeah.
Yeah, it really does, because I feel like that's so important, and that's a thing that I see a lot of supplements kind of leaving out and everything, because when you are going through this heist, you are doing it as a character, and that's your interface towards this game. And so maybe that's not for everyone. I know some people really do just want to roll dice and play games and, do the combat as the combat is. But for me, at the very least, TTRPGs are about the characters, and whether or not it's yours or everyone else's or even the NPCs, but that's what brings me into a game. And I feel like that's the same for other people. And so when you include that on top of all of these really fantastic mechanics and these very precise understanding of like how this narration should work, like it's just really fantastic. It's all together, coming together like that is really good.
Yeah, I think especially because it's about heists, like the whole heist narrative is so character archetypes are so critical to heist stories. So I feel like having them in this book is just like, again, it's amazing. And I feel like leaving them out is actually like kind of a loss to your book. Like
yeah, I feel like definitely that it can only be enhanced by adding personality. So to leave that whole part out of it, because yeah, it just really does feel like hollow. So
yeah. Because, like, the second, like, I was sharing little details about the characters and the backgrounds in chat, and, like, people were like, oh, like, this reminds me of so-and-so from Leverage, or this reminds me of Benoit Blanc, and, like, immediately it's so evocative and brings these fully fleshed characters to mind, and I feel like that helps you, certainly helps you run it as a one-shot adventure as well, where you don't have to mess around with, like, trying to figure out what characters know each other, what characters have to be awkwardly introduced to each other, right? Like, this is your crew, this is your Platinum Picks gang, and you're ready to go. Like, that's it. Your ride or die immediately.
Yeah, you get the vibe right away, and whatever heist movie that you're obsessed with, then yeah, that's what you'll be excited for.
Yeah, totally. Well, I know we said we were going to keep an eye on time. I definitely forgot to do that. I absolutely did not do that.
No, I think that's about it for this one. I don't want to give away too much, and especially for myself, for the game that's coming up. So, but yeah, if you can pick it up, it's on sale right now. I definitely recommend it. It's very good, and you will want to play at least one of these characters. I guarantee it. So.
Possibly all of them. Just keep cycling through until you play them all.
Yeah, all of them.
Yeah. Absolutely. But yeah, keep an eye out for part 2 of our Beyond the Golden Vault series, I guess, where we are going to jump in and play the Zephyr, the heist on board the flying dirigible casino. Yes.
It's very exciting. I can't wait for that to happen. Probably come out in the next week. So
yeah, time is fake and meaningless, but the next week probably, sure.
Promise, maybe, sort of.
Crossing my fingers.
Right, but thank you so much for watching and listening to our review. This is our very first Rolls Reviewed instead of Rolls Revamped, so look out for other things that we'll be talking about and giving our opinions if you care at all.
Yeah. And smash that like button, whatever.
All those things.
If you want to, whatever.
Look at the description. We usually have our shit together when we write the description. So.